Freedom Reigns Radio Network is not responsible for the views and opinions of the guests or hosts of this show. The views and opinions expressed in this show are strictly the views and opinions of guests or hosts of this program.
Welcome all to our Thursday night broadcast. Everybody's running a little bit late tonight. This is the Country Living Show, your place and your home for all kinds of information. What's taking place in the garden, what's going on even out there with the law. We never know who we're going to have on the phone. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, please look up the Encyclopedia of Country Living. That's a couple of them out there, but the one you want is Carla Emery. She's the one who started this whole publication, if you will. It's in its 10th edition, and very exciting stuff. We've only brushed on the topics that is covered within this book. I want to share a whole bunch with you today. However, my eyes are not cooperating, and I apologize for that. So, anyway, updates. Out there in the garden, walking around, checking on everything, make sure my blooms are good, see if I had to do anything besides my watering and feeding today. And as I was walking around and checking everything out, I happened to be over there by the wood chip pile. I saw something. I noticed a couple of things. One, for many years, ever since I actually moved into this location here, we always have wasps. Okay, the big red ones, big black ones. They don't bother anything, they don't bother me, as long as they don't get right there at my work area, I leave them alone, they leave me alone kind of deal. Well, they kind of disappeared, and only over the last, only really noticed today, and I had to think back, and I'm like, you know what, I haven't seen any in a couple of weeks. I don't know why that is, why they have moved on, if it has anything to do with the garden itself, if it has to do with, they just moved on for a different time of year. But one thing that I haven't seen in many, many years, matter of fact, I can't recall seeing any around my little house or area, is any type of honeybees. Honeybees is very rare nowadays. Unless you're raising and have a bee farm. And the book covers all that as well. There's even an introduction into beekeeping. And I happened to be walking around the garden. I heard a noise, and I looked, and sure enough, I saw a big yellow bee. And I was so excited. Of course, I didn't want to spook him away. He's just flying around there. I don't know if it was a honeybee. I don't know if it wasn't a yellow jacket. I've seen tons of them up north where I grew up. I'm hoping that it's a honeybee, and they're going to find a spot close by to my little garden to start setting up shop, if you will. I was very excited to see that, and hopefully he'll be back. Don't know. That was the first time in all these years I've been here that I have ever seen one around me. Now, there is a honeybee farm, not too awful far from me. It's probably a good 15 miles. So it's far enough away that they wouldn't be coming over here for activity from that particular farm unless they happen to wander away for some reason. And it was only just one little solo all by himself. Not sure where he came from, but like I said, hopefully he'll be back. Don't see any activity in the chat room yet. I do have a caller on the line. Caller, if you want to get on air, hit the number 1 on your pound sign if you have any questions or comments. It's going to be a pretty slow night because, like I said, my eyes just aren't cooperating, sadly to say. And not much else on the garden to update you on. We covered so much last week because Ed was with us, and that was a beautiful thing. And it's always great when he can pop in and join us. He gives us so much information, and it helps us out in the chat room there. He's over there from down on the farm. And I've been looking through the book at canning and proper harvesting and all the things I need. And there's tons and tons of recipes in this encyclopedia. It literally does cover just about anything you could possibly think of. The only thing I will do and add to this only because it is mostly all words, very any kind of illustration, if you will, in there. And it's a really big book. It's over 900 pages of information, and it's all words, and it's websites, and it's current. It's in its 10th edition, so it's a currently updated with recommended providers and websites and phone numbers and addresses and all kinds of information out there to help you get started and help you do what you may want to do in your own little garden. Remember, folks, you're only limited to your own imagination. Don't let size deter you. Don't let hey, I've tried household plants before and they didn't do so well, or you don't have a green thumb, or any of those excuses get in your way. You got to conquer those, okay? Conquer those fears. For years, people have heard me talk about on the radio here at Freedom Reigns, going into our 5th year here this month. People have heard me talk about aquaponic systems, and I was talking about that even before Freedom Reigns when I was with another network. And I've gone and helped many, many people set up their own little aquaponic system. And it's not that hard to do. And with experience and talking to others who are way more experienced in the aquaponic industry than myself even, the little tricks, if you will, of the trade is just basically, instead of using the complete loop system or closed system, is to have the water. Well, if you don't have fish, and tilapia are great because they breed so often, and you get about 750 offspring from one mating pair, you'll have all the fish you can possibly consume, and it takes about 12 to 13 months to get them from birth to plate. Good portion on your plate. And they love to live in a tight-knit community. They don't need a whole lot of space to swim around together. And they just love to be nice and close to each other and keep each other company, and they do their thing. But if you don't have the room for that, or if you don't have a taste for fish, in other words, you don't like fish, you can still benefit. There's companies out there like GS Products, GS Foods. I forgot. I'll get the website for you guys and share that with you. But I ordered. That's where farmer down on the farm, Mr. Ed there, our buddy Ed there, he gets his supplies from. And I looked him up, and it's GS Plant Foods, and that's all one word, .com. GS Plant Foods with an S.com. Check them out. And they have a kelp and a fish liquid mixture. And it's concentrate. Out of a little 32-ounce bottle, you can make about 32 gallons of feed out of it. And it's fairly cheap. You can also find the same products on Amazon directly from them. Of course, they're a little bit more pricier. I always recommend going directly to the website when you can. Very nice family-owned operation. I was speaking to the gentleman today. His name is Francis, who owns the company. Super nice. Like I said, family-run, family-owned, and that's what we're all about, promoting local business, local products. So if you're not into fishing and you're not into the aquaponic side of things, you can still benefit from all those nutrients that are great for your garden and for your soil. And that's what we're going to touch on today. These products are available for you. So even if you don't have the ability or the room, and you're not really into or have the time to commit to an aquaponic type of system, you can get the liquid kelp or the liquid fish, or the combination of both. All right. Now the liquid fish, boy, tongue twisted today. The little bottle, let me read a little bit about this here, is so much better than the competitors. First, our product is made only from fresh, deep water fish, untainted by dangerous coastal pollutants. We use a cold enzymatic process that leaves the natural fish proteins and beneficial oils and collagen Don't be fooled by cheaper products that are diluted by as much as 50% waters. Ours is 97% pure. This is that that concentrated stuff I was telling you about. This little 32-ounce bottle will make 32 gallons, okay, of fertilizer for you. And what the organic liquid fish food does for you, it stimulates the growth and improves the plant health and color. Tremendously beneficial for soil quality and improved rooting. And anybody who's ever done any growing knows how important that is. Stimulates water penetration and increases nutrient assimilation. Water penetration, another key factor in your product, in your growing in your garden. If you have a rich, vibrant garden, and it has all that water that stimulates all that water penetration, and it's able to get in there, you're not going to have a bug problem. Quite simply because the bugs, when they eat the plant, they will drown. All right, so they're going to leave you alone. That's the best insect preventive you can do, is by having good, strong, water-penetrated crops. And you'll never really at all have to worry about an insect problem getting to your product before you do. And it promotes growth of healthy bacteria, provides supplementary macro and micro nutrients. Okay. This is some great stuff, folks. Now, the old hidden secret is the kelp. If you live close to the ocean, go ahead and out there and go get yourself some seaweed. That's what kelp is. And we're going to read a little bit about the seaweed here. All right. This is, their product is delivered from, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Ascophilium nodosum seaweed from Norway. And it's you can go out to the beach and get your own, but this is the good stuff. So I've been told. Liquid kelp will greatly increase your plant's resistance to stressors such as excessive heat, which we have down here in Florida, wind. I constantly have wind because I'm in an open area. I got very little trees around me. Drought conditions, big plus for across the entire south of the Union here. The big droughts we're still fighting and coming out of. And this helps with the drought conditions and a lot more. It stimulates the natural root growth, mineral uptake, and overall plant growth and vigor. The 32-ounce bottle of concentrate, again, yields from 16 to 32 gallons, depending on how potent you make that mix. Let's see, what's it do? It improves seed germination and increases root development. So here, the kelp also helps with the root development. So just imagine combining these two together, which they've done for us in that product. All that extra beneficial that's going to help you with everything. This is from the soil to the root development to the water absorption. I mean, it just literally has everything you'll ever need. You'll never buy fertilizer, okay? You're never going to need to put any of those chemicals anywhere near your garden. If you have a healthy garden, you'll never need those chemicals. Increases bloom set and size of flowers and fruit. Increases and stabilize chlorophyll in plants, which results in darker green leaves and increased sugar content in the plants. If you haven't grown before, you're going to notice that even if you don't use any of these type products, the first time you're going to taste something from your own garden, it's going to be simply amazing because it has flavor. It's not like the garbage that we get in a store. Even if it's organic, if you're getting it in a store, it still had to be processed some way, somehow. May have been grown organically, all right? And they try to preserve that to a degree. But if you look up organic now, there's so much now that's included in it. It's not like it was when it first came out, because it started to become popular. And you know how evil Monsanto and them are. I don't know if they have any influence behind that or not, but you'll notice that just take a look and you'll see how the organic classification has changed. Uh, and I think that has to do with the stores that are now trying to keep it on their shelves. If you're going to go and buy products, if you're not going to grow your own, any kind of fruits, vegetables, go to your local farm directly. Get a little farmer's market, roadside vendor, kind of, right there in front of the farm. If they got a little stand out, go there, and you'll see what I mean. Once you taste that type of product, you'll never buy fruits and vegetables from from a retail store again. It just it ain't gonna happen. The flavor is not there. And this helps, like I said, increases that sugar content, which just makes it that much more sweeter and juicier and just yum, yum, yum all the way around. And we're talking about the kelp here still. And it relieves the stress in the plants that's caused by the extreme weather conditions. And that's why it's a beautiful thing, whether you have your heat, your wind, your droughts, colds, ups and downs. With the way the weather's just been screwy and crazy, especially here in Florida, in my area. We're always worried about those hurricanes. So we get those strong winds that come in from time to time. You'll get the heavy rains at times that can come in. Luckily, we've of course augmented our soil because most of our soil here, from my particular growing area, is all sand. So it doesn't hold any water at all. So I had to Ed talk me through, and we spent weeks on fixing that problem and getting the proper topsoils and enrichments into my soil before I even started to do any kind of planting, which is very important. It starts at the soil. You need to do that soiling and get that under control. Increases plant vigor and thus imparts a greater resistance to disease, insect attack, drought, and frost. Increases microorganisms in the soil that can fix nitrogen from the air, and increases mineral uptake from the soil and into the plant. Increases the storage life of fruits and vegetables by retarding the loss of protein, chlorophyll, and RNA. Don't know what RNA is myself. Retards the aging process in plants, thereby lengthening the production season. So it's nothing but win, 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 folks. For a couple of pennies, you can mix this up. Depending on the size of your garden, you can get a gallon. You can get a 32-ounce bottle. It makes almost 32 gallons of product for you. And it isn't something, once it's established, you don't need to feed continuously. It's something you put on to get your seeds started and germinate it. Maybe once or twice a month, outside of your regular watering. I'm not sure, I'm guessing here, but I would assume that's all you would really need to keep that stimulation going. All you're doing is trying to establish all this. Once everything's established, especially from the fish side of things, which really takes care of your soil, and that's so important, is the soil. Take care of that soil. The rest kind of takes care of itself. Mother Nature's been doing just fine without humanity for eons. Long before we've ever stepped foot on the planet. So just got to leave it up into her hands. But because of our own interactions with the soil and with the planet is why we have managed to, destroy those natural nutrients that are found in a forest compared to our own soils that may be growing, that we'll have available to grow in around our houses or apartments or so on and so forth. So that's why we have to do a little bit of help. We got to give her a little help from time to time when it comes to that. If you haven't had a chance yet, please check out the Back to Eden film. It's free. Go to backtooedenfilm.com is the website. If you haven't checked it out yet, or even go over to YouTube, it's all about wood chips. Getting your wood chips up and running, your compost. It teaches you how to do everything. Now, keep in mind, too, though, your wood chips, in order for you to actually plant your seed in the wood chip, it takes a good year or two, sometimes 3 years, depending on the size of your chips, to break down, to begin that, to fully break down and become your soil. So what I did, because I have new chippings, and that was delivered to me thanks to Airborne from the owner Mike there, who helped me out. He's been helping me out delivering some loads to me. What I did is I put my paper layer down. That's a weed blocker. I put that paper layer down, and I put a good 4 inches of wood chips under there. Now, again, wood chips, the way they are, because they're not aged or anything, will pull the moisture away. All right, and you don't want that to happen when you're first starting out. Don't make that mistake. So I put my wood chips down, and I do have a whole bunch still piled up because that's aging. But to help age it along onto the ground, I put my paper down, I put my 4 inches of wood chips down. Then what I did is I put 2 to 4 inches, depending on what I was planting, of compost. Okay, that's what I'm actually planting my seed in. I'm planting in the compost that's resting on top of that layer of wood chips. Now, as the plants begun to come up, of course, I did transplant some, so some were up right away. And I gave them a week to acclimate to the new soil. Because like most things, when you transplant them, they're going to kind of look like they're dying. Don't worry about it. Leave them alone. Just water them. Don't worry about it, okay? What you want to do is... Hi, John. Welcome. I see you in there. Thank you for joining us. What you want to do is just water them and leave them alone. Don't panic, all right? It's going to take your plant, when you transplant them, unless you're transplanting them into the exact same soil that you started them in, all right, then it's okay. But you need to do that acclimation. It's got to get used to the new kind of nutrients or whatever it may be in that it came from one product to another. So it goes into kind of a shock, but that's okay. After about a week or so, you're going to see that's all going to start perk up, all right? So what I did with all my transplants, of course, after I got those in the ground and I left them alone for a week and I saw that they were, starting to perk up again, then I took some fresh wood chips again, just a very light covering though, and placed it around the plants. Just a light covering. So when it covers up the black mulch, it looks nicer. But two, because the wood chips on the top will hold that moisture. That'll help hold that moisture, and it'll hold it right there at your plant. And I planted a lot of seeds as well, not only just did transplants. So I haven't covered those up with my upper layer of wood chips. But remember, it does take 2 to 3 years for those chips to become seasoned. Now, you can help that process along by putting in a couple of different things. Mushrooms, for one. Worm castings. Mix some of them in there. And rock dust, I believe is what it's called. Get yourself some rock dust. Now, you can mix that into your chips. Just kind of mix it into your big pile of chips you have, wherever your pile is. Just kind of throw it all into there and let it sit. And that'll help with that decaying process and help break that down. And then after a season, after it's been aged a good year or more, you'll see that underlayer is just beautiful, black, rich. It's not going to clung together or nothing. Beautiful soil. But it's not going to happen overnight, folks. So you have to start it. You don't want to go and get compost mixed with fresh wood chips. Okay, that's a big mistake. Do not do that. Because that's right, John. I'll catch you up. I was just giving a little update on today I saw a yellow bee, hopefully is a honeybee, so keep your fingers crossed. And I'm just starting to get into, I read about the kelp, liquid kelp, and the liquid fish, and there's also a blend of liquid kelp and fish in a single container, and you can get that. I had the website up there a minute ago, and I was reading their products to everyone, and you can get that from gsplantfoods with an S.com. It's all one word, gsfoods.com. I will copy that link and also put it in your in the chat room for you guys so you have it. I should have done that earlier, and that was my fault. Kind of slipping in my old age. I did want to cover some things tonight, John, in the Country Living Encyclopedia, but my eyes are just shot, and I'm just not able to read the words out of there tonight. So I'm just giving an update on what's going on with the Back to Eden. If you haven't seen that film, please check it out. There's also videos talking about wood chipping and the Back to Eden process and how everyone has checking this out. They're all giving it a shot in different ways and see what they say about it. Don't take my word for it. Check out what everybody else is doing. But again, you've got to let it age. And one of the big mistakes is somebody went, and it's actually YouTube out there. They told you one of their mistakes, and that was when they bought they were going to start their garden, and they went and got some topsoil and stuff, and he says, well, why don't you have some, use compost instead? And she said, well, yeah, that sounds good. And then he asked what was in it, and he says, well, basically I just take the topsoil and I mix the wood chips into it. Now, it sounds like a good idea because wood chipping is good. However, the wood chips he mixed into the topsoil were not aged. They were fresh wood chips. Well, again, like I said, that pulls the moisture and stuff right out of your topsoil. And it'll pull that moisture away from your topsoil and your plant. So for the first year, she found herself constantly having to water. So yeah, be very careful when you're using fresh chips. No, not potato chips. But they're fun. Hey, take a bag of potato chips with you out in the garden and have little chips with your salad as you're tending your garden there and pulling off your leaves and chowing down out in the garden there. Hey, that sounds good to me. I like that idea. But Ruffles Garden. Hey, yep, that'll work. Have your own little, you don't have to leave your garden. Take your potato chips, your ranch dressing for a dipping sauce or something, and you go out and you tend your garden. And you sit out there and you end up having yourself a whole salad while you're just hanging out in your garden there. Pick a leaf from here, little dip, a little bit of a chip, there you go. Oh, man, good stuff. But, yeah, like I said, I put that paper down, put my 4-inch layer of wood chips, because I had tons coming in, so I have plenty to do that with. And then, of course, I took my compost and put that on top. The compost is what I grow in. Once the seeds break the ground, then I put a light covering of the wood chips on top, because it will keep that water, and it'll keep it to the top, where right around the roots, where your crops need it the most. So, but by next year, I just used the compost this year to start me off. And I also have my regular old-fashioned, tilled road garden that I'm doing. I did that first before I did the Back to Eden garden. And I have 5 rows growing of that. That's got everything in there, from same thing with my back garden in the Back to Eden garden. My front garden has everything I have in the back, except for up front I do have my strawberries. I haven't put any strawberries this year in the back garden, but I do have 2 of those, and they've been doing fine. My daughter goes out there every day and picks a handful of strawberries and chows down on that as a snack. So they're doing fine for her. I have my tomatoes out there, my peppers, my cucumbers, multiple kinds of peppers, actually. Cabbage, squash, corn, pole beans. What else is going on there? Watermelon, lettuce, carrots, onions, beets, radishes. What else we got? Celery. I think there's a little bit of cauliflower out there. I don't remember. I think so. It's been so long. I got a list. I just saw my list in front of me, and of course, yes, tomatoes. Cannot go without tomatoes. I'm Italian. Monday, gotta have my tomatoes. And I make that, looking forward to making my first big giant batch right from my own garden of my own fresh tomato sauce. So, manja. Yeah, I got 4 doing great beefsteak tomato plants going. And of course, I picked up one for my daughter to play with, because, like I said, she likes me. She'll go out there and just likes to snack and walk around and spend time in the garden. And she has a cherry tomato plant going. And every once in a while, she's able to get out there. They're still a little small. There's tons of them on all my plants. All my plants are doing well. The corn isn't tall enough yet, of course, to start stalking. That takes about to start producing the ears, I should say. They're going to get about 6 feet. Right now, they're only about 3 feet. So they're about halfway. to the season here for the corn. So it shouldn't be too much longer, especially when I'm waiting for my order to come in. You can swallow them without chewing. That's right. John doesn't like the tomatoes. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right, John. You can swallow those without chewing. But see, now you made me forget what I was saying. Dang. Oh, I got my order in, and I'm waiting, of course. It should be here in about a week or so for my kelp and sea liquid to get here, my fish food. So I expect once that comes in and I get a couple of days of feeding with that, my garden will pretty much double in size, overnight. Whatever's not, what hasn't germinated yet will germinate, with that feed. It just literally will pretty much overnight germinate overnight for me. You'll see your plants almost double in size. That much healthier, that much more improved growth. The soil's improved. The plants has everything it's going to need. It gets it all and more. Your soil gets worked. It's going to help break down and turn my soil. It's going to regenerate the covering, the undercovering. My only problem, I put down all that paper for a weed blocker, okay? And let me say, it did its job. It definitely blocked all the weeds. Not a problem. However, I actually have grass growing now. I have a decent lawn. It doesn't have to be mowed, right? Before I started doing all this gardening. So I did have grass, but it wasn't great. It was there, but it wasn't, I would say like, this gorgeous manicured kind of lawn type of deal. Well, the grass is so strong, it literally broke through the paper. I got no weeds at all, where the paper's at. Literally nothing. But I do have grass coming through. I just thought that was funny. And they pull out real easy, and they don't bother me. I don't care if my grass is in there growing with my crops. It's not like a weed. So I don't know what kind of grass it is. I don't know if sugar grass, bluegrass. I really don't know what it is. But whatever it is, it's some strong shit. It broke right through that paper. The weed couldn't break through that paper, but that damn grass sure did. So again, because I'm trying to rush it, because I don't have the aged chips. So because I'm rushing the process, in some of the areas I did use kill all. Don't tell nobody. Yeah, and that's what happens when you're behind the 8 ball and you're trying to catch up. Because I have no food in storage at all. Got nothing canned. I have no canning equipment yet. I will shortly. When I start harvesting, I'll be going out and getting my pressure canner, and I'm already starting to get the vinegars and the sugars and the salts and things like that that I need for it. So I'm getting everything set up. I got the workshop outside in the back there by the garden. I'm turning into an actual cannery. Where I'll have all my canning stuff, my pressure cooker, the burner, the vacuum packer, all my mason jars and my lids and, all that good shit. It just takes money and takes time. So you can only do so much in a year. And it's only my first season. And even if Ed said that, he says, he'd be more than pleased if I just get half of what I got going to come about. I'd be, way ahead of the game. That's only a partial list of what I got going. I got my herbs all going as well. I got complete. I found a package. They were on sale. It's some sort of garden variety lettuce pack or something. It has like 14 different varieties in this one. It's a good sized seed pack. It's 14 different varieties of seeds. Of different types of lettuces and all in this one package. And like I said, it's a big package. It's, about 3 times the size of your regular normal seed pack. So I get done with all my herbs. I get all those in the ground. I get all my seeds in. I did buy some stevia and some rosemary and basil that I did buy that were already starter plants, and I put those in. Because I didn't have anything else I wanted on my list that was already started, so I had to get everything from seed, which is okay because herbs will go all year round. I'm not really worried about them as far as being out of season to get those going. You can plant those anytime. So also in my back with my cantaloupe and all that is back there. It just popped into my head. I was having my cantaloupe out there growing. I get all done with my herbs, and I got this seed pack, and I'm looking at it, and I kind of went to tip it a little bit. And so, wow, there are all kinds of different seeds and stuff. And I said, there's 14 different seeds in it. It's a big pack. And I was standing over top of my herb garden at the time, and I was just kind of looking. I was just going to sprinkle a little bit, just around the edge there. But it goes with the herb. It's lettuce and stuff. Let it all kind of grow up together. Just as I was, starting to get a couple to come out, instead of pouring it in the palm of my hand, and I'm going to splash a couple out, a gust of wind comes up. So, big gust of wind comes up. My hand tipped a little bit more. Half of the pack gets picked up in the wind and goes blowing all across the top of my herb garden, and God only knows how much further down the row. So it's going to be interesting to see. I got 14 different varieties now spread all over the damn place that got caught in the wind, and I still got a half a pack of that stuff left. So we'll see what happens. I just thought that was funny. As I was like, well, I guess that's where they're going. They're going on their own. I didn't come. I didn't do anything. All I did was watered everything in. Excuse me. I figured, well, what don't grow, the birds will eat. If not, they'll soak into the soil and they'll germinate, and who knows, I might get something out of it. Wasn't really worried about it. They weren't really going where I wanted them to go. It just kind of went where Mother Nature said they were going, and we're just going to see what happens. That's never know. That about covers everything with the garden for what we got up to date. Oh, we did get the front done. Got the wife involved. She says, Farmer Ed's in trouble. Look out. Actually got her out there. We went out window shopping and ended up coming home with a whole bunch of stuff. Sent Deatra a whole bunch of pictures. I'm not sure if, John, if you got those yet to get those uploaded. I'm not sure what part of our site that all that stuff goes on. But I sent her like 11 pictures of everything that's been going on here. And the front, she decorated. We got a couple of hibiscus and a couple other really cool looking plants and stuff. Don't know the names of them. They just looked really cool. They're all perennials, though. They're not annual, so they will come back every year. Maybe Deatra didn't send them to you. I sent it to her in the Skype. She did download them, so I know she does have them, John. Please get with her so she get it. If you have a Skype contact, John, if you can get me in Skype, look me up in Skype, please. Send me a contact request, and I'll just send them directly to you. That's what, you're the one who knows what to do with them. But, one of the pictures there is of the front garden, of the little flower tree stuff we put out there. So just to pretty up the front there. And hopefully to attract some honeybees or other good insects. Okay. Yep, thank you, John. Yeah, mine's just my name. If you do a search for me, only 3 of them will come up, and it's got my picture on it. So, yeah, you can't miss me. It's David Meola, just our team, and I use my regular name. Nothing fancy, and you'll see a picture of me and I believe one of me and the wife actually on my profile pitch, or it just might be the headshot. I don't remember, but you'll recognize me. Same picture. It's on the Our Team page here under my name. But send me a contact. Anybody who ever listens to the show, that's always the best way to get me. If you email me, always put in the subject line, show topic or question or comment, so this way I know and I just don't automatically delete it. My email address is drmeola. It's Dr. Meola at netzero.net, N-E-T, netzero.net. If you needed to look me up that way, you can look me up by either my name, David Meola, M-E-O-L-A, or you can look it up by my email address, drmeola at netzero.net on Skype. Go ahead and send me a Skype contact. I'll gladly accept that. And looking forward to hearing from everybody. Let me know what you think of the show. Let me know your ideas. And please call in. Don't be afraid to call the show, folks. Some days we'll get tons of callers. We'll have a ton of people in the chat room. Other days, like tonight, it's a real quiet night. Jose hasn't joined me. He's still out. Yep, it just came in. Got one from John. There we go. Sent me a contact already. Gotcha. And you are at it. There we go, brother. And I'll get those pictures sent over to you after the show here, so you have them. Like tonight, it's a real quiet night. Call-in number, as always, 714-868-0749. It's not quite the top of the hour, but let's take a music break. One song I played last week and shared it a couple of times now. It's turning out to be one of my favorite songs. It says so much for what we cover here at Freedom Reigns from the many different shows, especially community-wise and what's going on. When I talk about the community and Constitution shows that we've done here for many, many years. Getting off grid, homeschooling your kids, get them out of this craziness, all right, that the government's been slamming. Turn off that damn, MK Ultra brainwashing black box that you got sitting on your wall or wherever it is. Turn that damn thing off. That's totally useless. Unless you're watching a good movie. If you're like me, I'm into sci-fi, horror, and just about everything and anything. Documentaries. I love to watch that kind of stuff from time to time just to laugh at it. Some of it's really good. Other stuff, it's just, I look at it as a comedy show. Those who followed my show over the many years with Community and the Constitution, know very well I watch C-SPAN, so you guys don't have to. We keep an eye on what bills are going on out there and what they're voting on and what they're not. So, this way we can bring you the whole story. We kind of gotten away from that, and we're going to stay away from that for the summertime. But wintertime, of course, though, if you ever do have any questions about your law studies as you're going through the PAC material or you're studying your Red Amendment, our textbook here, the TRA, go over there, PACalliance.us, I believe, is our site there. You can find your copy of TRA, that's the Red Amendment. That's our textbook for our law studies here that we do. None of that, none of that hype, none of that garbage that you see from or hear from these other shows around here. John's saying he used to do a radio show way back. Stopped because he no longer had a co-host and couldn't talk that long without getting real. Yeah, I hear you, brother. So why don't you call on in? I'll put you on air anytime. I'll cover any topic you want to talk about. That's the beauty about my shows. It's not specific. Everything revolves around community, the Constitution, what they're doing. We keep an eye on what's going on out there. This time of year, it's just, gardening, getting out there, find out what everybody's doing. Memorial Day is around the corner. Yeah, I throw the kids out of my room. I got three kids myself, 10-year-old, 2 teenagers, plus mama. So, I know all about that. Yep. Yeah, I got my computer in my little office here, all my little, off in the master bedroom here, and I just shut them all out saying it's showtime. I close the door behind me, and, mama gives them hell if they start making too much of a racket. But, John, you're more than welcome to call on in. Love to have you. Memorial Day. Yeah, I was kind of hoping, this was the other reason for pushing for the garden, the first big barbecue of the year. I just want to have something out of my own garden. But it looks like we're going to be kind of limited. But I still got my fingers crossed, I'm going to get at least a couple of tomatoes out of there. I got some peppers already that are, a good size. I got a couple of, bigger than a golf ball, a little bit smaller than a baseball. Most of them, I got some tomatoes that are bigger than my fist even already. And just my first beefsteak coming out, he's a good size. He's a good softball size, if not bigger. And I noticed today he's starting to get a little bit of yellow, so that means he's getting ready to ripen up some. So, I'm excited to get that first big, huge, he ain't going to be huge, but he's going to be big. He'll be big for me because this is my first tomato of the year. Can't wait to get him off the plant, though, and serve him. Hopefully he'll be able to hold on to that vine until Memorial Day, because I want to pick them fresh and slice them up and use them on the, the burgers or whatever we make here, and, we do our little barbecue or whatever. But, I chop up some of those peppers. I'll get some of my my onion tops. So it's the beauty about your onions and your scallions, your radishes, your beets, all that. You get the crown that comes up, that the green stem part that comes up. A lot of people don't think about it. That's all edible, folks. Everything in that plant is edible. Your leaves off your plants are edible. I just walk around the garden. I pick off different leaves and I chew on them as I'm working in the garden. It's a beautiful thing. Learning what I like, learning what I don't like. I know, of course, I love the product I'm growing, but I'm talking about from the leaf side, just the green side of things. Same thing working out there in the herb garden. That's why I bought the plant of the stevia, because I couldn't wait to bring some of that home. And the kids got all excited and they started picking off leaves and chowing down. And Mom even grabbed a couple of leaves, which is great, and started chewing them up. And I didn't say a word. I just said, "Here, eat this," And my daughter Ray was like, "Wow, it's sweet, it's sugary, kind of tastes like bubble gum." And I'm like, "You got it. You nailed it." That's how most people describe your stevia, your herb. I may be pronouncing it wrong. Forgive me. Stalvia, stevia, however you say it. But I have some. Put it that way. That's the important thing. I have some. But yeah, just you can go out there and just break off a couple of those green things growing from the top of your onion. The stem, if you will, that grows up. That crown, that's onion flavor. It's really good. It's healthy for you. You can take your scissor or just break it with your finger, snap off a piece. Go ahead and snap off some of that. Chop that up and throw that in with your salad. So it gives you that onion flavor. Put in anything you're cooking. Just eat it, raw as it is. You don't need the actual onion. A lot of people actually prefer the green tops compared to the onions themselves. It's got as much onion flavor in there. It's a little bit more enjoyable to you throw in your salad compared to chop up a whole onion. But these are just little things that I'm learning. We're learning together, and that's the beauty about all of that's going on here. Tell you what, we're going to take another break here. I got some Skype stuff going on. So let's go back, just because it's one of my favorite songs. And we haven't played it in some time. And we're going to play a little bit of that Tim Hawkins, That Government Can. And we'll be right back. Tim Hawkins is great. Check him out when you get a chance. Please join us over here. We have our chat room all the time. You can just go to freedomreigns.us. It'll bring you to the new site, which, yes, it's still under beta testing, so bear with us. But most of everything is up and working, thanks to John's hard work. And that's Spring Into Action, all one word, springintoaction.us. And you'll find our chat room there, as well as, the player to listen to the shows, the Regal system, and then we have the swap shop. Now, that could be, that may or may not be up and running 100% yet. We're trying to get everybody registered to get that to work. We'll be able to, eventually, we're going to have a whole section with more gardening and stuff going on. Pictures that'll be added to the site. Everybody can check out the pictures at the swap shop. We can, change. Swap shop is awaiting category setups. Cool. Good deal. So that'll be coming soon. So a lot of exciting things taking place here around Freedom Reigns, around springintoaction.us. I got used to saying the new website address. Across the top, of course, you're going to find your home, about us, local community support, our team, which is Deidre, myself, Zach Berry, and John Martin, who takes care of all our technical work here and been doing a fabulous job on the website and joins us here in chat as well. The Regal system, different shows and events, and of course, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, where you can find a lot of the archived shows as they get put up. Also over on Blog Talk Radio. Excuse me, you can always find our archived shows. Wow, excuse me, archived shows there. Getting old, man. Eyes are going, can't see to read the stuff out of the book I wanted to read and go over tonight. My voice is going. I'm just falling apart, ain't I? Good grief. Anyhow, if you go over to the About Us and click on the local community support, Good night. That was my little one. She's off to bed. It tells you a little bit about us. It gives you a little bit of background. And if you go to what I'm actually looking for, and I saw it this morning, so just bear with me. I'm still learning all the new sites myself here. What we got going on here? Oh, this morning, that's where it was. Might just be in the home page, but brush your teeth, little one. I'm sorry, my little one's getting ready to go to bed, so, that's how it works. All right, now. It was there before, and I can't find it now. I thought it was under the welcome page. What I'm looking for was and we've had it up since I wrote it. We've had it with Freedom Reigns for a very long time. And right now, I just can't seem to find it. And I know I found it earlier. But anyway, you go over to activity. You're going to see the forum, the directory, the profile, inbox, friends, account, log in, sign up. Like I said, a lot of exciting things going on. We are still in the beta testing phase. I'm not sure exactly where that page went to that I was looking for. Thought it was under, I was a little fast, little one. Again, apologize for that. Yeah, that's what you do when you got little ones down here. There was a picture. Oh, it is. There we go. See, it just took me a couple of times to trigger up the page and to get it up. So I was clicking in the right spot. Yeah, if you click on About Us and the local community support, sadly, that is not a picture of my house. I wish it was. Yeah, a big elk out there in the front lawn and the cabin in the background with the hill and the trees up in there. Yeah, I see a ton of growing and hunting potential right there. Anyway, you'll find an article I wrote. I wrote this some time ago for Freedom Reigns. And the first night, I just sat down. I was in the middle of doing my studies, and I actually wrote this particular page. And I sat there, and I said, I'm not, you guys know I share a lot of my stuff. I do what I can do. And I said, here, D, I gave over to the Deatric there. I said, hey, here, D, check this out. Well, she read it, and she was dead silent, for a little bit. She finally comes back, and I says, because she didn't say too awful much about it, but I could tell she, something was going on. It really touched her. So that night, the next day, actually, we had a show. And she had Skyped me and said, look, I want to share this. I'm like, absolutely, go ahead, but I can't read it. There was just no way hell I would be able to read it. It was just way too much, too deep for me, and I'm the one who wrote it, one of those kind of deals. And I don't know how long she practiced it for, but she tried to read it, and you can hear she got not even halfway through, and just the tears were flowing. And just everybody was, and it's a true story. I mean, it really happened that night. And the next night we aired it on Freedom Reigns right here, and you can read that article over there at the local community support, and it's titled "New Walnut Grove." Now, of course, a lot of this has everything to do with community, what we're all really about here, discovering and learning the truth together. I don't have all the answer, folks. But I'll be honest with you. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you I don't know it. But I'm also going to do my best to find the truth out for you. Because if it's important to you, it's important to me. And this is, after all, your show. I'm just the button pusher. That's what I like to call myself here. I'm not, I may be the the lead, if you will. But it's your show. It's your topics. It's what's on your mind. It's about what you're doing in your community. I only share with you each and every week the things that I'm doing here. But I want to know what you guys are doing. Email me if you're afraid to get on the air. Send me an email, Skype contact, write me a letter, and I'll share those letters without even mentioning names, unless, of course, you want your name mentioned. Let me know in those letters, and I'll gladly share those letters on air. But anyway, we're starting our second hour here, and still not much activity, and that's okay. We're still in beta for the new site. And I didn't put any open the Blog Talk Radio chat like I usually do. That's probably where a lot of people are hanging out right now, instead of joining us over on the site. But I wanted to try to get everybody over here to the new site. So hopefully, if you're listening over there on Blog Talk Radio, please jump on over to our new chat room. Check it out. I'm going to try to get through this. I'm going to read this, and then we're going to play another song. But let's do this. It's titled "A New Walnut Grove." I am sure many of you have heard of a town called Walnut Grove. Many of us most likely grew up watching Little House on the Prairie. And today, being a man of age years, with all that is going on in the world and the New World Order making their final push for dominance overall, just this very evening, as I was doing my studies, the television was on in the background, and I only caught the last few minutes of this episode and found myself crying. Some tears of joy, others of overwhelming sadness. It reminded me of the last days of Walnut Grove, how they, the government, came in and stole the land. However, they did not own the buildings on the land. The residents of this town, one by one, using dynamite, destroyed each building that they had either owned or resided in. Can't recall a time when I've cried so much. Times are hard for all right now. And yes, we know how they have done this to us, using the law and their trickery. The information found in real law, and not the hype, is what can save us from the coming storms. It all starts in your heart, doing the right thing once you realize the things you have done wrong in the past. With true and total freedom comes responsibility, like most have never had to face before. And it takes a community working together, not unlike that little town. We can rebuild our Walnut Grove, but you have to want it. You have to grab it and hold on to it with both hands so it never gets destroyed again. Take back your local communities. Support your mom and pop stores for goods and wares. Buy from the local farmers. They will be more than thankful. Learn who your neighbors are. Regain the family structure that has been dismantled one brick at a time. The choice lies with you. Follow your heart. It will guide you. There is no one to blame but that reflection in the mirror. And once you realize that, the energy to fix the problems will never ending. Many, through misguided law, have begun to rebuild Walnut Grove. People working together, contracting with each other, without the outside interference of Big Brother. Protected by the common laws of custom and usages, free from all the madness of the political realms. It truly is a simple life once again. Simple life takes hard work, sweat from your brow, and a community of like-minded people working together. The rewards are felt from day one. The stress quickly vanishes, only to be replaced with a new fire, a new drive to thrive, a new energy unlike anything your body has ever experienced before. Are you ready to follow your heart? Ready to come closer to God than you have ever been before? Join us. Get the education we have all been denied. Find the truth you've been searching for, and help us to rebuild Walnut Grove. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. And do it because it's the right thing to do. The choice is yours. The path has been laid down. All you have to do is follow it. God be with y'all. Amen. Now, a beautiful song to follow that up with is from none other than a very dear friend of mine, Jack Gladstone. And he's going to teach us a lesson about the buffalo. And during the winter time, during those big storms, buffalo, they break off into smaller groups, and they don't run from those storms. They turn head on into that storm. And they face that blizzard, whatever it may be. Because the quickest way to get through those storms isn't to try to get around it, isn't trying to deny the truth, but to face it head on, and you'll quickly pass. With that, let's give a listen to the lessons taught to us by our brother, the buffalo, by Jack Gladstone. Faces a Blizzard. Jack Gladstone, everyone. Get a chance, look him up over there on YouTube channels, as well as his own personal website. If you enjoyed that article that I just read, A New Walnut Grove, if you click on our team and go down to my name, scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a couple more articles that I have written. Community Survival, Freedom Compound, and Togetherness that are shared here. And you can also go over to my blog, which is a mess. I have not kept up with it in some time, and why, especially all the study links for those who've taken my law classes. The study links were put over many years ago, transferred over there to Above Top Secret. Yes, I know, conspiracy site. It was just easier to organize all my stuff over there. But you can go over to www.drmeola.blogspot.com and give a look through there. You'll find all kinds of great articles, everything from the law studies to my small journal, which is a tribute to Jack. You'll also see one of his other videos there posted. That's also on YouTube. It's called The Wolf by Jack Gladstone, and shows a letter that I wrote to Jack many, many years ago, and how this man actually has saved my life. It was a beautiful thing. But please give it a look over. Check it out. There's some short stories and some works in progress as well that I shared there. You can go through. When you click on short stories, this is one that has been requested over the many years. Usually share it privately with other soldiers, a lot of veterans out there. And John has been doing all this great work for us. Let's see. It's so weird because I was about to watch a save video on YouTube yesterday. There you go. See? Awesome stuff, the way it all works. Anyway, hey, look who's here. How you doing, please? Glad you could join us, my friend. Long time no see. We've had a quiet evening tonight. You'll have to just give a listen there in the archives, just giving some updates on the garden and all. And I read Walnut Grove a little while ago. So you want to catch that in the replay, of course. Softball practice today. Gotcha. Good job. Hope the team wins. Practice, practice, practice. We didn't do too well. We played softball. We were back there and played in a mixed league many, many years ago up there in New Jersey, me and the wife, before the kids came along. We didn't do too well, but we had a good time. Might not have won too many games, but I think we drank the most beer. Does that help? Oh, wow. Good times indeed. The way life has changed. But, hey, it only changes the way you want it to change. Don't let all this madness and craziness get to you. You can turn that black box off. You can, stop watching the propaganda and the garbage and just do the right thing. Do what's right by your family. Do what's right by yourself. Get out there and get your garden growing. so you can supply that food. There's going to be food prices are going through the roof. Just heard from a friend of ours from back on the farm there, down on the farm near Ed. One of his neighbors, actually a cattle rancher, and he said, yeah, he just got notified this week. The beef prices has gone through the roof. So just a little heads up there, folks. You're not going to be able to go shopping and get what you're used to, quite frankly, because they keep raising the prices and choking out society. They're trying to starve us all to death, I think. And best way to offset that is, hey, grow your own food. I'll grow my own, just like that song. But get out there, grow something, get something going. Even if you're in a small apartment, get some 5-gallon pails, get something growing that's going to sustain you. Even if it's just herbs, your spices, pastas, stock up when you can. Publix, great little supermarket. If you got one by you, I've been shopping there for years. Love it. They always have the buy one get one free deals going on. Where I can, that's when I stock up on my pasta. It's dry good. It stores nicely. Not a problem. Has a long shelf life. So yeah, stock up on that. Stock up on your rice. Get potato flakes. Another great survival type food, if you will. Dry good. So especially if you have a cannery, even a vacuum canner, food saver unit. Go ahead and get plenty of that and box that up. It's dry good. Great pinto beans, all kinds of beans. Get that product up. You're going to get all your vitamins, nutrition, everything you're going to need. You don't need a whole lot of variety to stay healthy. Okay, get the pinto beans. That's got Johnstown's got the most vitamins. Your vitamins are all in there, and the stuff that you need, it's all right there in that beans. So you got to get your carbs, your what are the 3 food groups? I always forget. Ed quizzes me on this stuff all the time. He says, remember, you only need your carbs, your this, your this. Yeah, okay. I always get that part of things mixed up. You know how that goes. You were taught that in the Army. Cool. There you go. Hey, at least the Army taught you something. They didn't teach me a whole hell of a lot. But that's neither here nor there. Oh, excuse me for that. Yeah, all the fallout shelters absolutely are stocked full of the pinto beans. I'll tell you what, not for nothing, man, I love the MREs. I told the story about the day we were cleaning up the warehouse and the storeroom. I was working around base. I was actually CQ officer because I had a knee injury. And I was also helping in the supply house, and we dug up a couple of pallets buried in no man's land. I dated all the way back to like Vietnam or something. Pallets and pallets full of these MREs, meals ready to eat. Boy, I would tell you, we started chowing down. That was some good shit back then. All that stuff was, you couldn't tell it was a day old. I mean, it's just the way it was so well packaged back then. That stuff's got a shelf life of infinity, I think, as long as it don't get any air into it. But, we chowed down. We passed them out all over the place. We just loved it. We found, like I said, a couple of pallets worth of them. And good stuff, man. We were chowing down. We took a whole ton of it. We took tons of it with us when we went out on bivouac for that week. And we went out. We had 200 people in our small little company there. And we all went out there on bivouac. We took all them down there, man. We were living it up like kings. But when the morning food truck come around with the eggs and all that shit, they didn't realize how much food that we actually ended up packing in with us and storing up. By the time breakfast came around, everybody was so full, and they were like, "Hey, how come nobody's eating?" We were too busy chowing down. Oh man. It was great. No, I didn't have that problem, actually, John. I did not have any kind of bowel problems at all, surprisingly. Like I said, maybe because they were that old that they were made a lot better back then. But, they were from the Vietnam era, and good stuff, I'm telling you. Oh, boy. But, hey, you don't have to go there. MREs are expensive to get yourself some. It's good to get into a survival, get in your bug out bag, get whatever you have. If you have them, great. Okay. But to go out and try to buy them, they're lightweight, they're quick, easy to carry. They will feed you, no problem. And get them in your bug out bags. If you can't afford that though, and you're growing your own food, that's the beauty about it. Get into canning. Yeah, a little bit heavier to carry them mason jars around with you, or pack up those cases of mason jars and carry them around with you. But hey, at least you got food. Biggest thing people forget about, if you're talking about any kind of prepper side of things, the biggest thing people lack is support. You got to have a support team, all right? You need not only your family on board, but your neighbors. Let them know what you're doing, what's going on, or at least a tight-knit group that can help out. Because I found that when you look at the prepper channels and stuff, and they do these scorecards, it seems like the one that's usually scored the lowest is security. Okay, and I'm surrounded by seniors, and I love every one of them. I've got a great bunch of seniors around me, and I help them out any way I can. And hey, they've been there. They've done this. Pick a brain of a senior. You get them talking, and I'll tell you what, you will learn more in an afternoon Saturday conversation over a bottle of beer or a cup of coffee than you can learn going to college for 4 years. All right, you'll just learn so much. It's not even funny. And the beauty thing about it, they're like, well, what are you association with them? They can't help you. Really? I don't care if they're disabled in a wheelchair. If they can utilize one hand, they can fire a handgun. If they can use two hands, they can fire a shotgun. I don't care if they're in a wheelchair or not. All I need them to do is watch my back while I'm tending the garden. You know what I mean? In a worst case scenario type of deal. All right. It's coming, folks. It's coming. We don't like talking about the negatives. We stay away from all that. But be prepared. I tell everybody all the time, what do you got to lose? Food prices are going through the roof. Grow your own food. You're going to put money back in your budget. Even if you don't look at it as a prepper thing or as, a survival or one of these crazy guys or, whatever you want to talk about, whatever title or name you want to put onto it. Forget about all that. Do it for yourself. Do it because it's the right thing to do. Feed your family. Feed yourself. Well, how are you going to do that? Economy's tanking out. The dollar's about gone. About wiped off. They're trying to get that declassified from the world currency, and they've been trying to do that for some time, and it said this year is probably going to be the year that's going to happen, which is, you could say a move in the right direction, depending on how you look at it. But get growing some food. Feed yourself. You're going to put that much more financial stability in your budget, and you're going to be that much more healthier. So you're going to save on health bills. You're going to be in better, healthier physical condition. You're going to be eating better food and products. And you're growing it yourself. It's something you're doing with your own two hands. See the road tomatoes at the enemy. I like that. Go on, John. But the point is, let your neighbors know what you're doing, what's going on. Start with your family. Rebuild that foundation. Get that solid foundation. Everybody on the same page. Not talking from the prepping side, not talking about from the fear porn that everybody's out there spreading. Hell with all that crap. Live for today and hope for the best tomorrow kind of deal. But a better way to look at it is, hey, shoot for the stars and hope you land on the moon. And that's what I do with my garden. He goes like, oh, you're going to burn yourself out. You're putting too much on your plate. No, I'm not. I'm enjoying it. To me, this is great. Because just think, even if I only get half the yield out of my garden, I'm going to have enough food to get me through. Just half. If just half grows in my garden of what I got planted out there, and I'm only giving you guys a good size of the list, but not even all of it, all right? If only half of it grows, I got enough food to feed my family of 5 to get me through till next season. If it all grows, damn. There you go. Now we're just that much, that much more gravy, if you will, that much glory, and that much better off I'm able to help when the time comes to help, my seniors to make sure they're taken care of here. Small towns are great. The smaller, the better. Get to know really, truly who your neighbors are. You get to help them out, and you don't have to do things for them. I'm one that, hey, if you're young enough and healthy enough and you got the property to grow your own damn garden, you think I'm doing all the work and giving you my shit? Sorry, not happening. Now, you don't have the room, or you're physically unable to do something. Hey, I'll give you the shirt off my back. All right. But, I got some neighbors that are just, they see what I'm doing. They're like, oh, I'll be coming over. And I just look at them like, yeah, as long as you're going to come over here to help work. Yeah, they don't come around. Huh. Just, like that old, the old Mother Hen story or whatever, I can't remember where she's, grew the, tilled the land, planted the wheat. Oh, who's going to help? Nobody would help. She made all this bread, and blah, blah, blah. Who's going to help weed do all this? All the steps involved. And all along, all the other animals, nobody wanted to help. But when it came time to eat, and they were all standing there at the door. Yeah. Well, where were you when it was time to do the work? You didn't want to have nothing to do with it. So you know what? Starve to death, have a nice life. That's the way I'd look at it. You too damn stupid to go out there and grab a 5-gallon pail and grow something, or something like that. You know what I mean? Then don't be knocking on my door. Now, however, you come over and help me harvest time and canning and work the land and pick up a rake from time to time and pull a couple of weeds. Hell, I share everything I got. Goes around, comes around. That's how it works. In my house, anyway. You don't pitch in. You don't pitch in your food in the mouth either. That's just the way it works. Well, like I said, I was just gonna knock on the door. But yeah, that's what you gotta do. You gotta. You got to take the initiative, Worry about your own first. Then worry about everybody else. But if you can work together as a community, and this is what it's all about, get that walnut grove going. Get that community going. All work as a unit. Better yet, if you got a space to grow in that somebody's willing to donate a lot. Not a lot as far as, a lot of something, a lot of land, a plot of land. That they'll open up for the community to come in and plant and just share everything. That's a beautiful thing. You can read more about that in my community survival. It takes the community to protect it, and we're pretty good shape here. We have the lots. We have some empty housing which we can use to shelter people and makeshift hospitals, and we have ham radio units and operators. We have security. I'll say that much. We have towers. We have a couple of lookout towers, so on and so forth. So no government housing here. We're talking about homes that were, people who moved out, died, gone into foreclosure, or been up for sale, and just hasn't, been purchased yet. We have plenty of vacant land around us. Looks like I got chickens coming in soon. Next year, my chickens hopefully will be ready for my chickens to come in. So it's just a matter of growing pots outside. That's great. Do everything in pots, not a problem. If you can't dig, do a raised bed. There's a real easy way. You can do it real cheap for free. I can tell you and help you out. Go to over there on YouTube. Oh man, let me get my buddy's site here. All right, call my buddy there. It's all one word. They're gonna let's see. Dang it, I'm gonna have to go to my YouTube homepage here for a minute and get you that site. But check him out. Fantastic. I subscribe to his channel. You will not be disappointed. You'll learn so much. It's Growing Your Greens. One word. That's the name of the channel that I subscribe to. The man's name is John. I will put a link to at least one of the videos here. So, okay, it's actually his whole page. I'm not sure if it'll work, but you can check it out. But anyway, he'll act. Oh no, that didn't even come up. Apologize. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. But anyway, go to YouTube, type in one word, growing yours, Y-O-U-R, green, greens with an S at the end. Learning organic gardening at Growing Your Greens. You got a whole bunch of things on there. But he covers everything from wheelchair access gardens to how to do different beds, wood chipping. He's really big on the different weedy vegetables. I've watched that one a couple of times just to learn all the different weeds that are edible. And these are things that just keep coming back. There's so many choices. And the best thing, and this is what he did for a friend of his. I watched this the other day, and it's how to build a free plastic crate raised bed garden. Give that a look. Check it out. Go give that one a watch. And that's what I was going to tell you about there, John. Since you can't, dig into the ground and so on and so forth. Excellent. You can go to like these grocery stores and whatnot. A lot of times they just throw these plastic crates out. Just go ask them. Hey, you're throwing them out. Is it all right if I take some or whatever? Boom. And the beauty thing about it, now your garden's portable. You get these. They're easy to carry, lightweight, because the soil and mulch and all that you're putting in there, you're growing in, is very lightweight, so it doesn't take much to carry it at all. And when it's time to move and pack out, you load those crates right up with the soil and your seed and your product in there, and boom, put them in your car, off you go. All right, you got a traveling garden. So even if you can't dig up along because you're renting or whatever the case may be, if you got a spot to place a crate, well, even if it's on a balcony, you can grow beautiful stuff. So yeah, again, only limit it to your imagination, and there's tons of people out there that put videos and stuff together that will help you out. To give you the cheapest way, the right way, learn from their mistakes, just like I did with Ed. I mean, he's third generation, fourth generation farming, whatever he has going on over there. And I got the advantage, being him a very dear and close friend of mine, helped me out so I don't make the same mistakes that they did over the many generations. So I learned it the right way the first time. There's bunch of people out there that will help you learn how to lay out. You'll learn everything, how to lay out your raised beds, how to build them, how to make them, how to go about getting your products, how to even get your starters and seeds, at half price when they go on sale at the store. It's just the list goes on and on and on. You can spend an entire day or more just watching the videos here that John, another John, has here from Growing Your Greens. Check him out, if you will. Subscribe. He's always uploading more videos. Most of the videos are 15 minutes long on the average. Some are a little bit longer, depending on the project he's doing. I don't think there's any of them over 40-some minutes. I think that's the longest one. Like I said, most of them are in the 10-minute range, 15-minute range. So it's a real short, quick, to the point. Tons of information. Couple of good 30-minute ones. Highly recommend that, though. But check it out. You'll never know what you're going to run across. I was thinking about debating about reading this story tonight, but I decided to pass on it. If you want to check it out, just go to my drmeola.blogspot.com. I posted that link there in the chat as well. Click on short stories, and it's A Soldier's Stories, The Return Home. Shared that with a lot of my veteran friends, and they were some were no longer with us, but it definitely was very appreciated that I shared it with them. I gave them a physical copy, and I was told after they had passed, someone passed, that that was the last thing they had in their hand. They kept that story close to them, and that really I didn't expect that kind of response. It was just something I decided to write, and I decided to share it, and that was the result of it. Please feel free to go ahead and give that a read over and share with others. Print yourself out a copy. I have no copyrights on it. My name's at the bottom. I did write it, and you have my permission and my blessing to Feel free, print it out, share it with as many people as you choose to. One of these days, maybe I'll be in the right frame of mind, or we'll see how things go, and I'll read it on air for you, so you have it. I know I did read it on air a long, long time ago. But check it out, though. I can't think of much else to cover tonight, to be honest with you guys. So I'm sorry with you. Unless there's some questions that pop up in the chat room, or a phone call pops up in here. What do you say we play a couple more songs, huh? Yeah, we got about 20 minutes here, just under to kill. About 18 minutes, actually, according to the studio board. So, let's play a couple of songs, and this way I can hang out in the chat room a little bit. And we'll play some, of course, related songs. I think I played this one the other day for you guys. Another song from Jack Gladstone. Each one seems to be my chosen artist for tonight, and just about any night, actually. Get a couple of his CDs. You will not be disappointed. And this is "And the Land Belonged to God." And we'll be back.
The purest gift is not of gold, but an art that awakens the soul. On the spring heat of 16, Charlie Russell departed from his St. Louis home, a young man whose big dreams had delivered a call to the heart. So by train and stagecoach he made his way through an endless sea of grass that blew to the shore of the big sky's unbroken sod, when the land belonged to God. A rising choir of buffalo, mountains were sentinels for creatures below, stirring tones from long ago that survived an eclipse of the soul. As the curtain closed on our noble play, before the stage was struck by cashiers and surveyors, he carefully captured the scenes of the big sky's unbroken sod, when the land belonged to God. Where all the wild kin of man danced in rhythm with the land, where grizzly bear and gray wolf were first chiefs, where episodes of old man's travels helped our people first unravel the mystery of sacred time between the earth and sky. Time respects the careful hand when chosen colors are dry, the vision forever stands. The purest gift is not of gold, but an art that awakens the soul. As we choose our trail up the Great Divide to an unknown stage on the other side, we might realign with the scenes of the big sky's unbroken sod, where the land belongs to God. On the big sky's unbroken sod, where the land belongs to God.
gmail.com, my brother. Anyhow, yeah, Jack, I'll tell you what, this man has not only got so much college education on him, fantastic, poet, singer, songwriter. You'll learn more history and real-world lessons in his music and songs than you will going to school to college for years upon years upon years. It just never seems to amaze me. What I learn is when I listen to all his music. I have just about every single thing the man has ever recorded. I'm only missing maybe a couple of the latest ones. Just haven't had the time to go over and get my copies of them, if you will. But great information. So I was just sharing there in the chat room. If you're into the old-time radio shows, you go over there and check out Radio Once More, one word, radioOnceMore.com. They're pretty much broadcasting. I believe they're still broadcasting 24/7. They do live broadcast as well, and they're during the weekdays, and they start at 9 p.m. That's Eastern Time. Sunday, they're on at 6 p.m. You can often hear my wife, Kat, also known as Binger, or the Bing Babe, as they call her. And you can see her picture there at the homepage, David Meola. That's my wife. That's my missus. But anyhow, great shows in there. Yes, things like The Shadow and, oh boy, the list just goes on and on and on. She's on regularly with Binger and the Boss. I believe that's every Tuesday night. And they're on, they start at 9 o'clock. So check them out. And great show. Lots of great teams that they do have. Let's see here. You've got a full schedule there. Let's see. Somebody was asking about The Shadow to see if The Shadow is still airing. I know they do play from time to time. Right now they have on the list upcoming on the schedule. Today is the 9th, and it is Thursday. So we go over here to Thursday. You asked for it. Audio Archives, Adventure Theater, Crime Club, Radio Once More, number 4, Audio Classics, number 4, you asked for it, and live show with, Andrew's on tonight, right after my show. Go check it out. Andrew Fielding, funny guy. He comes on right after me over there on Radio Once More, and you never know, my wife has a tendency to pop in as well, so you just may get a chance to catch her. But yeah, Banger and the Boss is Monday night. You'll see that there on the schedule. Every Monday night at 9 p.m. And like I said, that's the wife, and you never know when she's going to pop up. I don't know if The Shadow may fall into one of the... I don't see it announced, but they have the numbers up there, and I'd have to look to see what is The Shadow number to give you a definite yes or no if it's on this week or not, or this month, actually. He has them all, so there's so many to play, years and years and years worth of broadcasting. Yeah, just check it out when you guys get a chance. Greatly appreciate you spending your time here with us tonight, especially if you're over here in our new website. Of course, you can still go to freedomreigns.us, and we will always be Freedom Reigns. But the website is Spring Into Action, one word, .us, springinaction.us. Check out the new site. We're still in beta testing. Give a shout out there to John whenever you see him in the chat room. That is our web designer. John, great job. As always, greatly appreciate you, my friend. Until next week, happy growing, everyone. Keep up the garden, and don't forget, jump on over there to Radio Once More right after tonight's broadcast for Andrew Fielding's show. We got just under 3 minutes. Let's see if I can find a quick 3-minute song to take us out of here. Something's got to be under 3 minutes. Jeesh. Man, hey, let's just hit one of the dance parties. I don't know why. We got the beat. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That'll take us out for the night. All right, till next week, everybody. Happy gardening. Grow. Be safe. Keep the reins at your back. Love you. Bye.